Let's attend to our business of the day, which happens to be the news review. We're looking into the headlines that have made it to the front pages of the dailies this morning. I'll start off with the daily graphic.
Okay.
Economy on recovery course. This is attributed to President Akufo-Addo.
Okay.
Customs seizes firearms at Tema Port.
Yeah.
President appoints Herbert Krapper Energy Minister. National Service Authority military to increase livestock production. And of course, that event that you mentioned will be live here on TV at 10 a.m. Witness Education Transformation in Action, historic commissioning of 80 educational projects. So that will be live at 10 a.m. right here on ChannelOne TV. You'd want to stay with us for that. That's on the front page of the Daily Graphic newspaper.
All right. Now, on the front page of the Ghanaian Times, we have 524 diasporans granted citizenship to reconnect them to ancestral roots. Okay, and there's a photograph there of some very happy diasporans engaging with the president. New BOG headquarters unveiled. Of course, that story we actually brought you live from the grounds, the Bank Square, yesterday. And the new building handed over to Nigerian High Commission. All right, so those are the headlines on the front page of the Ghanaian Times.
All right, I'll take you to the Chronicle newspaper. Election 2024, police promise to protect journalists. Okay. In Team Fojo rewards best teacher with a car in Ascent South. Free SHS. 18K Ghana cedi spent on each student annually. All right, and there's a question here by the Chronicle asking soldiers on land guard duties at Damfa. Okay, we'll go into the scripture of the day, and okay, clearly it's directed at the soldiers. 2 Timothy chapter 2, the verse 4. No one serving as a soldier gets entangled in civilian affairs.
Chronicle does it again and again and again, man. What can I say? What can I say?
Oh boy, the Chronicle newspaper.
Yeah.
Stephen Odola, good morning, sir.
Charlie. All right, the Daily Guide has these headlines. It says NDC thugs, thugs in code, attack MPP Zongo team. We have Cheddar makes inroads on constituencies tour. Election 2024, you're safe with us, police assures media. All right, Herbert Krapper is energy minister. Cozy's Champions League unveils hidden talents. All right, and Okwe Junior roots for Baumia. Those are some of the headlines you see on the front page of the Daily Guide.
All right, and the Anchor newspaper this morning is heavy on the, around this time there will be a trading of accusations. Right? So
that's what accusations.
Yeah. So NDC, NPP accuse each other of plotting mayhem. Exactly 16 days to December 7 polls. Okay. Akachi SHTS wins inter-school carpentry competition.
Okay.
Great stuff. Herbert Krapper elevated to substantive energy minister. Jospon rice to hit market soon. Okay. Minister denies involvement in Moshosho rice scandal. Right, you can get the details in the Anchor newspaper. Grab a copy at a newsstand near you.
All right. A Daybreak newspaper, it says here, Times board chair under fire over editor's illegal stay. NDC plot to use vigilante group on election day exposed. We have concerning 2024 elections, police assure media safety. And Ghana deserves president like my husband, says Samira. All right.
Okay, the New Republic, says Tortoise Akufo-Addo finally completes Flowerpot flyover after 8 years, while JM was to complete it in 2 years. Okay. Well, the devil is in the details, so yeah. Achim Chiefs ditch Baumia and rally behind JM. Another EC NPP collusion unmasked. Party executives enrolled as presiding and polling station officers in Ashanti region. And there's a final one that says, after being left off the hook in Ayawaso massacre, butcher commander plots more mayhem. This is in relation to that press conference by Sami Jemfi, alleging that Ken Opoku is training, allegations.
Now Brigadier General Opoku.
Yeah, allegations, and then of course we've heard what the MPP has also said, alleging that the NDC is also training. It will come. These things, this camp will say A, the other camp will say B, and then it will die off, and then we'll move on as a people.
But at an election day, agrarian form is at the polling station.
It's at the polling stations.
That's what matters.
That's what matters.
Political Digest, it says here, Bawumia touts Ghana's education successes. Ayagba shrugs off NDC rigging allegation. UPSA names hostel after Dr. Matthew Poku Prempe. And we have Awuku predicts 145 seats for MPP. All right, so that's what we have in the Political Digest.
There's a final one from me. This is the Business and Financial Times, BNFT. In the extractives, it says MIF's Gold Trade Desk attract 1.02 billion US dollars in 12 months. Okay. The major story here has to do with the inauguration of the BOG headquarters. That's the Bank Square. It says President lauds BOG's commitment to sound monetary financial policies as central bank inaugurates new headquarters. BOG interventions help CD recover, but market watchers are concerned. Interoperable payment systems advance financial inclusion. And when you go to rural banking, it says Amenfiman wins overall best rural bank award, bags 5 authors. Okay, that's the front page of the BNFT.
All right, let me take you to some online stories, and I'll start with citynewsroom.com. It says, election 2024, your safety is our priority. Dan Parry tells media. A few other headlines here. The DRIP project, we've improved over 80 kilometers of roads so far. Greater Accra Regional Coordinating Council is speaking. Dismantling free SHS not an option. Patrick Ewart Jr. That's the president of Ashesi University. In Lebanon, 4 Ghanaian soldiers injured in rocket attack. Okay, I'll give you one more. The IES is urging the government act now to prevent imminent power shutdown. So those are some headlines from citynewsroom.com. Let's go across to ChannelOneNews.com. Race for Tamale North. Suhini confident of victory despite stiff opposition. Election 2024. Police to establish election task force briefing center. Okay. 4 Ghanaian soldiers injured in rocket attack in Lebanon. Ghana's future leaders will face increased pressures. Patrick Owa again speaking there. Of course, he was on a point of view with Bernard Avle yesterday. We also have Flower Pot Interchange. Government institutes 24-hour security to ward off hawkers. All right, so those are some of the headlines there on the various portals. The story about the 24-hour security to ward off hawkers, I'm not sure that's I would have gone about it differently.
Well, there's a plan for the space, right? I spoke with the director of urban roads, engineer Amo Godfred, and he says that there's actually a plan which is likely to include a food court, a mini soccer pitch for like games like a 5-a-side, 3-a-side, and all that. So actually there's a plan to develop the place into a leisure area where people can actually relax. It makes a lot of sense. But then there's also the challenge of not planning for people like these hawkers.
Yes.
Prior to this development, this was a space occupied by these hawkers, right? And so if you're developing such a space, there should be a plan to accommodate some of these people. Now, the challenge here is that we are not asking that they legitimize the illegality of the hawkers being there. No, that's not what we are asking.
But is it illegitimate though, if you think about it? right?
Well, the fact that the space is there does not mean it is yours to occupy.
No, I agree with you. But then if you hear also what the hawkers have been saying, that there were discussions, there were promises.
With who? You see, they keep saying with authorities.
Yes.
But which authority? There is an assembly. You understand? Do you have a permit from the assembly to operate there? If you do not, then you are occupying the space illegally, and you should be moved away.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, that the assemblies together with the, I mean, we have the urban roads department, right?
Yeah.
But when they go in to plan some of these roads or to develop these infrastructure for our roads, do they include the urban planners? So that they're able to map up the area, know that, okay, this is highly populated by this class of people, and so this specific amenity should be made available to accommodate these people. You get it? If you plan the infrastructure and you take out the urban planners, then there's a challenge, because if you watch our report on TV yesterday, there's no pedestrian walkway.
No, there isn't. It's actually problematic for me.
And it's not everyone that lives and works around the area that owns a vehicle.
Yes, exactly. You know, and I think historically we've done very, very, very poorly as far as our roads and highways are concerned, because we'll build an entire stretch of road with no pedestrian, no consideration for pedestrians at all. You know, I'm like, wait,
and then later we'll come back and we'll come and say,
we'll be playing catch up after the fact. It's like, I don't understand.
They develop a culture of crossing in the middle of the road, and then later you go and put a footbridge miles away, and you start forcing them that they should walk down there to cross. I mean, for their own safety, it makes sense. But you built the road without considering that people will be crossing.
In design, right, at the conceptual stage, you take into consideration where people already naturally live and move.
That's what I'm asking.
So you incorporate that into your design. Do you see that thing? The people are so it's like when I was I first came across this when I was in secondary school, right? You know, they'll put this sign that says "keep off the grass," right? But keep off the grass. After about 2-3 years, we look at this keep off the grass, and you realize that some people are walking on certain places, right? So you know what they did? They actually put pavement stones along the path where people have naturally created a path.
Where you keep walking there.
So now the rest of the grass is free. And then if you catch somebody walking on the grass, actually you can deal with the person. You know, and then you use a natural path where they are going from point A to point B. So for me, the N1, for example, is an example of total lack of ingenuity in terms of
always late to the party.
Seriously, where are the footbridges? And then when you're building a footbridge, you're putting them in places where people don't cross naturally. Where the people cross naturally, there is no footbridge there.
And that's what I'm saying, that we plan the thing and leave out some of these materials, road materials, right? And then the people develop a culture of using the road at certain points, crossing the road at certain points, accessing other parts of the road at certain points. But you come back and you put a footbridge far off. Listen, these hawkers, these traders that we are sacking today, we kept them there
for 7 years.
The construction stage
because we were serving the purpose,
and they were feeding the workers.
Exactly.
You are not telling me that the construction worker who is being marked by day is going to a restaurant at Palace Motor.
No, he's not. It was these workers,
these people
who were serving them.
We did not holistically find a way to integrate them into the development. And now we're driving them away. I keep saying that we're not asking that we legalize that illegality. No, but there should be a plan, whether we like it or not. There is urban development, which is very, very rapid. So if we're planning infrastructure, we should inculcate some of these things. And I keep saying that integrating urban planning into some of these things will go a long way to address some of these problems. You get it? The plan as espoused by the Director of Urban Roads, absolutely beautiful. And it's something that we would want to see. But you see, it will be detrimental to some of these other persons who have been plying a trade there. Already there's cause for alarm because there's an Okada station that is also growing up there. There's a taxi station that is also growing up there. And so my challenge really is with the assembly.
And the assembly needs to be aggressive in formalizing structures and spaces for various groups. So when you mentioned, for example, a taxi station or car station, there has to be a formal, and organized space, designated area.
Regulated.
Yeah.
That's what it should be. Listen, I'll tell you a story. Medina, Firestone. This was somewhere, I think 2010, 2011, if my memory serves me right. And I've forgotten the name of that MC there, but I always doff off my hat to him. There was a scrapyard that was developing there. And you see, it starts with one person.
Yeah.
Then they bring a brother in,
and it always
the brother will now serve as caretaker, and then the original person who was there now goes out to hunt the scrap. Before they come, now they're getting lots of scrap. They need 2-3 more persons, so they go and bring somebody else to come and stay there. Now, whilst at it, they'll need space to keep the stuff, so they begin putting up a wooden structure, and that's how it begins. Before you know, okay, this person, quote and unquote, now has a girlfriend or a wife. I need to bring this person here. Now you have 2 kiosks. By the 3rd week, you have 5. After a month, you have 10 kiosks. Then you have a kiosk community.
Crazy.
This MCU saw it springing up. And immediately,
so they're dealing with it.
Moved in to move the people out of this. No, there is no room for you here. This area is not designated for this. And you see, we need to map out our communities properly. If it's an industrial area, it is an industrial area. If it's a semi-industrial area, that's what it is. If it's a residential area, it's a residential area. If this space is a commercial space, leave it as such. You understand? I mean, there's always a way to create a hybrid. But I mean, we need to be clear, so that we know what kind of buildings will come up in particular areas, so that it doesn't infringe. Imagine not properly designating the place, and we live here thinking it's a residential area, and the next day there's a factory next to us.
But is that what happened to the motorway? That's what's happening to the motorway. Anyway, then I thank you very much.
Thank you, David. It's always a pleasure.